Imagine living a life where, well, the totally mundane mixes with the utterly bizarre and, frankly, the intensely dangerous, where your day job is, say, a fry cook, but your real calling. That involves battling unseen forces, foreseeing disaster, saving the world, all, before you even make breakfast for your eccentric, movie-obsessed
You're
boss.
right. It may be just a Tuesday for most people, but in this case, it's a wild Wednesday for our protagonist.
How does someone even cope with that when the extraordinary is just normal?
Well, that's what's so fascinating about Odd Thomas. He adapts, but it's through this really unique perception, a kind of weary acceptance almost. He knows his reality is just fundamentally out of sync with everyone else's.
Hmm.
He doesn't choose the adventure, like you said. It chooses him. It just constantly pulls him into these situations that honestly would break most people.
And that's exactly what we're diving into today. We're taking a deep dive into the extraordinary adventures, the unique perceptions of Odd Thomas. He's this young guy, started in Pico Mundo, now finds himself in this place called Magic Beach. And you'll quickly get to know his unusual gifts, and I use quotes there deliberately, prophetic dreams that sometimes come true, often with deadly results.
Exactly.
The ability to see lingering spirits of the dead, which is a whole thing in itself. And this peculiar intuition he calls psychic magnetism. It just sort of drags him into the middle of everything.
Right.
But here's the key thing we want to unpack. These aren't really powers in the fun superhero sense. They're more like unwanted compulsions.
Exactly. Unwanted is the key word. They turn his ordinary life, which should be ordinary, into this relentless, often terrifying journey.
And that idea that the universe itself has this grip on him, it forces him to develop this peculiar kind of resilience.
Totally. So our mission for this deep dive is to really unpack how Odd's seemingly normal life is just constantly flipped upside down by these abilities. We're going to follow him through just one single incredibly action-packed night. Starts off eerie in Magic Beach, ends up with him facing, well, a global threat.
One night.
One night, we'll explore the surprising facts, the terrifying encounters, and those deeper questions that bubble up around him. Questions about fate, free will, the nature of reality. It's quite a ride for just a few hours, and you'll see how fast the stakes climb from, like, personal danger to potentially world-ending.
Okay, let's set the scene then. How does a day even begin for Odd? You mentioned his definition of a triumph day.
Right, yeah. It's pretty stark. For Odd, a triumph means he gets through the day losing only, say, a bit of hair or maybe a few teeth.
Seriously?
Seriously, if he makes it back to bed 16 hours later with just those minor losses, that's a win in his book.
Wow, that immediately sets a certain tone, doesn't it?
It really does. That expectation of physical harm being just, part of the routine, and his Granny Sugar's advice, if you show worry to bastards, they'll shake you, break you, and be walking around in your shoes tomorrow.
Ha! I remember that.
It sounds funny, but it's actually his core coping strategy. It's this defiant stoicism, facing down the inevitable chaos. It's how he manages to live where the mundane meets the catastrophic.
And the place itself, Magic Beach, adds to this unsettling vibe.
Oh, definitely. The description is great. A gray, swollen, windless sky, a dark Pacific filled with these inky shadows that feels like, something monstrous could be lurking just under the waves.
And the news he hears early on doesn't help things. An airliner crash, but a 10-month-old baby survives completely unscathed.
The sole survivor.
Plus, reports of jihadists beheading passengers on an ocean liner. It's grim stuff.
Really grim. But what's interesting is how he processes it. He can handle the words, the information, but he says the images undo him. It shows this deep sensitivity he has despite everything he goes through.
Okay, let's talk about his employer, Hutch. He sounds like quite a character.
Oh, Hutch is fantastic. He's 88 years old, used to be a successful actor. Now he writes children's books. Famous for Nibbles the Fearless Rabbit.
Nibbles the fearless rabbit. But Hutch himself, not so fearless.
Not at all. He's an insomniac, eats breakfast at noon, has this obsessive fear of flesh-eating bacteria, specifically for his nose.
His nose?
His nose. And he's terrified of the sea. So terrified that Odd actually sleeps in the master suite because it faces the ocean, and Hutch can't stand hearing the waves.
That's amazing.
And his money. He's financially secure because he's paranoid about investments, which, ironically, worked out great for him. It's another example of how even the normal parts of Odd's life are kind of bizarre.
So how did Odd end up in Magic Beach working for this guy, and how does it connect to his abilities?
Well, he came to Magic Beach after spending time at St. Bartholomew's Abbey up in the Sierra. He was trying to process some significant losses in his life. He felt called there to Magic Beach, but for a purpose he didn't understand yet.
called by that intuition.
Exactly. His gift or curse, as you said, this irresistible intuition, this psychic magnetism, it just pulls him places he wouldn't normally choose.
Yeah.
He often just shows up somewhere and has to figure out why he's there.
Wow. Waiting for the universe to tell him the plan.
Pretty much. And this intuition, it even extends to animals, but in a really unique way. Odd lives with a ghost dog named Boo.
A ghost dog?
Yeah. And what's strange is, unlike other animal spirits, Odd encounters, Boo lingers. He sticks around in this world. Odd kind of theorizes that maybe Boo is waiting, for a specific crisis where Odd might really need him.
That's oddly comforting in a way.
It is. Odd finds comfort thinking that when Boo isn't needed, he's off playing in heaven's fields.
A ghost dog. Odd jokes later he's the perfect pet, right? No feeding, no walking.
No poop to pick up, exactly. Practical guy, Odd.
So this intuition leads him somewhere specific this night. The pier.
Yes, his intuition pulls him right to the end of the pier. And there he finds this mysterious woman, petite, clearly pregnant.
This is the first big encounter of the night.
Right. She stands out immediately. She's about 7 months pregnant, wearing this tiny thimble-sized silver bell pendant. Odd mentally calls her the Lady of the Bell.
And their conversation is strange.
Very enigmatic. She knows his name is Odd Thomas without him saying a word.
How?
He doesn't know. She just does. And when she tells him her name, Anna Maria, she just says, "It would have come to you." Like he was meant to know it.
Okay.
She even implies they've spoken before, which just confuses Odd completely. It's clear right away she's much more than she appears.
And she has an object, right? Some kind of stone.
Yeah, piece of sea glass, translucent green. She shows it to him, describes how it has no sharp edges because it's washed around the world. And she says it seems to open like a green eye. It's very symbolic, hinting at perception, ancient wisdom maybe, deeper meanings.
But this encounter doesn't stay peaceful for long.
No. As twilight comes on, fog starts rolling in, and Odd just senses danger. Then, boo, the ghost dog. His hackles go up, alerting Odd. 3 men are approaching. One is described as a walking mountain with a chin beard. His name is Utgard Rolf, and his eyes, they're yellow.
Yellow eyes, not good.
Definitely not good. This is where Odd has to think fast.
Right, the tsunami diversion.
Exactly. To give Anna Maria a chance to slip away, he starts loudly, dramatically talking about a massive 30-foot tsunami that's supposedly about to hit. He's yelling about how it's going to destroy all the beachfront buildings, creating this totally fake disaster to distract them from the real, immediate danger. Pure Odd Thomas.
So Anna Maria escapes, but Odd.
Odd dives into the water, the cold, dark, inky water under the pier. He's clinging to these concrete columns covered in sharp, slick barnacles.
Ouch.
Yeah. And it's here, in danger, that he thinks about his granny sugars again. Her advice about not showing worry to bastards because they'll just shake you, break you, be walking around in your shoes tomorrow.
That resilience kicking in again.
Absolutely. And we get this incredible flashback that explains why he's so resilient. He talks about being an indifferent student in his teens.
Yeah, you mentioned that homework wasn't really his priority.
Not when his extracurriculars involve things like being chained to dead men and dumped in a lake.
What?
Or hanging in a refrigerated meat locker. Or facing attack dogs inside a serial killer's motorhome with only a fluffy pink dust mop and 6 cans of warm Coke for defense.
That's pink dust mop.
And warm Coke. It puts failed a math test into perspective, doesn't it?
It really, really does. It makes you wonder, like you said, if losing hair or teeth is a good day, what does a bad day look like for him?
Exactly. These aren't your usual high school problems. It explains his perspective on danger. Then things get worse under the pier. The floodlights snap on.
They found the switch.
Looks like it. They must have glimpsed him. He feels totally exposed, an easy target, but his main thought is still helping Anna Maria.
And does Boo help again?
He does. Just when Odd needs him, Boo reappears. Silently guides him towards safety through the structure under the pier, then vanishes again. As if to say, okay, you can handle it from here for a bit.
Good dog. Ghost dog.
Right. Then Odd spots an inflatable dinghy tied up. He figures it must belong to Utgard Rolf.
Which means?
Which means if Utgard left his boat, there's probably someone, a sentinel, waiting on the shore. It's likely a trap or at least an ambush point.
So he can't just paddle straight to shore.
No. He uses the fog, which is getting thicker now, as cover, paddles the dinghy silently away from the pier. And he has this moment reflecting on his life, how he prefers it simple. No mortgage, no car payments. And why a ghost dog really is the perfect pet. All the companionship, none of the hassle.
A little moment of odd-style philosophy amidst the chaos.
Exactly. But the chaos finds him again pretty quickly. He reaches shallow water near the beach.
And the sentinel.
Yep. A man with a flashlight confronts him. There's a
Right.
struggle. Odd describes it with his dark humor again. He calls it a deadly, serious struggle, but with absurdity, comparing the guy's flailing arms to an 80-year-old lady wielding an umbrella.
Huh. Only Odd would see it that way.
It's his coping mechanism, finding the surreal in the lethal. He does end up using violence, reluctantly. He clubs the man unconscious with the guy's own flashlight, admits he doesn't enjoy it, but also doesn't feel any need to report it. It's just what happened.
And then he finds something important.
Yes. The plot thickens, as they say. He finds the man's wallet. The ID says Samuel Oliver Whittle. But there's another ID from Nevada under the name Samuel Owen Biddle.
Okay, aliases.
And crucially, the Whittle ID says he works for the Magic Beach Harbor Department.
The harbor department. So these aren't just random thugs working for Udgard. This goes deeper.
Exactly. It suggests a conspiracy that might involve local officials. The danger level just ramped up again.
Okay, so Odd gets away. He's injured, makes it back to Hutch's place. He must be hoping for a break.
You'd think so. He's got this plum-sized lump on his head. He's soaked, probably exhausted. And he's reflecting on Magic Beach itself, the weird street names like Jacaranda Avenue with no jacaranda trees, or Sterling Heights being the poorest part of town.
Little bits of irony everywhere.
Yeah. And he's thinking about himself, how he's just this unremarkable fry cook, not cut out for fame, despite, everything constantly happening to him.
But Hutch isn't exactly providing a calm refuge, is he?
Not quite. Hutch is completely lost in his own world, rambling about movies. He's mixing up plots and reality, talking about Taleone and a tsunami, then Marilyn Monroe and pneumonic plague, throwing in George Kennedy.
Oh,
It's classic Hutch. A weirdly charming, oblivious counterpoint to the life and death stakes Odd just escaped.
and Odd tries to prep him for potential visitors.
Yeah, he tries to coach Hutch on a cover story, just in case Udgard or his friends show up asking questions. He tells Hutch to act ungrateful, thieving, even despicable towards Odd. And Hutch, being a former actor, kind of loves the idea of playing this part.
That's hilarious. But amidst this almost farcical scene, Odd notices something truly disturbing.
Yes, something clicks. He remembers Anna Marie's clock was stopped,
Yeah.
and now he sees Hutch's mantle clock.
Yeah.
It's also stopped.
At the same time.
Exactly the same time. 1 minute until midnight. It's not just a coincidence for Odd. With his sensitivities, this feels like a sign, an omen, a recurring visual cue from whatever forces are at play. He thinks of it as a message from his shoestring budget angel.
1 minute to midnight. Like time is running out, or maybe pausing before something huge happens.
Precisely. It's chilling. It hints at this larger, fated structure behind the chaos.
And speaking of strange things appearing, Frank Sinatra. The ghost of Frank Sinatra shows up.
Yes. Mr. Sinatra himself? Or his lingering spirit? Odd figures out that Sinatra is sticking around because he thrived on struggle his whole life. He's afraid that in the afterlife, without that struggle, he won't be special anymore. It's a fascinating take on a lingering ghost.
Okay, so you have the ghost of old blue eyes hanging around. What do you do with that, especially when you're in trouble?
Well, Odd comes up with a pretty audacious plan. He needs Sinatra's power, that famous volatile energy. So he decides to provoke him.
Provoke Frank Sinatra's ghost.
He insults him. Deliberately. Calls him a scared little punk who couldn't face the truth, basically pushes all his buttons, knowing Sinatra's legendary pride.
That sounds risky.
Extremely risky. But it's a calculated gamble. He needs a major distraction, a major burst of power.
Does it work? Does Sinatra take the bait?
Oh, does he ever?
Yeah.
Sinatra's old, crazy, whirling blue eyes, as Odd calls them, just go ballistic. He unleashes this massive wave of poltergeist energy.
What happens?
The interrogation room they're in just erupts. Chairs, tables start spinning, flying, exploding. They physically attack Chief Haas, Shackett, and Utgard Rolf.
Wow. Sinatra saves the day with spectral rage.
Pretty much. It creates total chaos, allowing Odd to escape. It's not just an escape, it's this incredible violent display of ghostly power, completely turning the tables.
Unbelievable. So after that chaotic exit, Odd goes back to Anna Maria.
Yes. He finds his way back to her apartment. It's mysterious, lit only by oil lamps. She serves him dinner, simple food, but plenty of it, and she's just asleep, serene, calm. Her dark eyes look ages older than her face, Odd notes. But when he asked about her purpose, why she's here, her answers are still cryptic. All things in their time.
She remains an enigma, but then Odd sees her power firsthand, right, with the coyotes.
Yes, this is a really striking scene. They're near a place called Hecades Canyon on a greenbelt. and a pack of 6 aggressive coyotes approaches them.
6 coyotes. That's dangerous.
Very. But Anna Maria just calmly faces them. She speaks to them, commands them to leave, and they do.
They just obey her.
Astonishingly, yes. The book says the predators just lose confidence and back off. It's not like she fought them, she just commanded them.
That's incredible. What does she say about it?
She explains she has no influence over people, but beasts like these don't concern me. It suggests her power works on a different level than human interaction.
More primal.
Exactly. A connection to nature, maybe something purer. She even quotes Shakespeare. Virtue is bold and goodness never fearful. It really sets her apart from the human corruption Odd is dealing with.
So she's a powerful, if mysterious, ally. And Odd needs somewhere safe for her. He finds Blossom Rosedale.
Yes, Blossom Rosedale and her Cottage of the Happy Monster. Blossom is another amazing character. She has a tragic past. She was badly burned as a child, but she's described as a deeply happy person.
Happy Monster Cottage. And she resembles E.T.
Somewhat, yes.
Yeah.
Spielberg's E.T. Her cottage is magical in its own way, lit by these beautiful Tiffany-style lamps she made herself.
And she has some quirky stories.
Oh, yeah. Family stories about a time-traveling cousin, a gorilla that writes poetry. She's eccentric, but deeply kind. And her core belief is really important. She believes nobody's inherently bad and that remorse can lead to redemption.
Wow. After what she went through.
Exactly. Her optimism is this powerful counterpoint to the darkness Odd is wading through. Her cottage is a genuine sanctuary.
Which he desperately needs, because things are about to get even darker when he follows the lead back to Sam Whittle's place.
Yeah, the harbor department guy. Odd investigates his bungalow, and what he finds is just horrific.
Worse than before.
Much worse. He finds Whittle's body in the bathtub, shot multiple times. But next to him, hanging from the showerhead, bound with duct tape, is a woman who's been strangled.
Oh my God.
And the scene suggests Whittle was forced to watch her die before he was killed. It's brutal.
And then something else happens, something not human.
Yes. As Odd is taking this in, this non-human entity appears. He calls it the Collector. It seemed to be there to take Whittle's spirit.
The Collector, what does it look like?
It's described as these undulant plumes that are somehow simultaneously as reflective as polished silver and yet dark with tarnish. It leaves behind this hideous face reflected in the mirror after it takes the spirit.
That sounds terrifying. Is it like a demon?
It feels like something ancient and predatory. Not just a ghost, but something that actively consumes souls, maybe feeding on the trauma. Odd is terrified it has the power to take him too.
And just as he's processing the supernatural horror, the police arrive.
Right on cue. But Odd instantly realizes these aren't regular cops. He calls them men who are not men. They kick in the doors.
It's a trap.
Exactly. He understands immediately they're not there to investigate. They're there to frame him for the murders. They lured him there. He manages to slip out a window just as they burst in, back into the thick fog.
Always escaping by the skin of his teeth. Now he's on the run again.
Yes, running through the fog. And this time he has a companion, a golden retriever named Raphael, who seems to have just appeared.
Another animal helper.
Seems like it. And as he runs, the fog itself feels like more than just weather. He experiences it as a physical manifestation of dread, a premonition of absolute destruction, the nullity of non-being, the end of history following the ultimate annihilation.
Whoa. Existential terror in the fog.
Absolutely. He feels like he can't scream, just like the voiceless dead spirits he often sees. It's overwhelming.
How does he even deal with that level of fear?
He tries to ground himself by focusing on the absurdity of it all, contrasting the man-made world with the wonder, poetry, and purpose of the given world, the natural world. He sees himself as both a fool caught in this mess, but also maybe a paladin, someone fighting for something good, even if it seems hopeless.
It's how he keeps going.
But he doesn't keep going for long this time, right? He gets caught.
No, gets captured, ends up shackled to a table in that same interrogation room, facing Chief Hoss Shackett and Utgard Rolf again.
Back where Sinatra helped him escape. Now what?
Now the truth starts coming out. Shaggett drops a bombshell. He reveals that when he touched Odd earlier, he also experienced Odd's nightmare vision, the red sea, red sky.
Shackett's on too.
Yes. It confirms Odd's vision isn't just in his head, it's a real transferable premonition. It connects them somehow.
It changes things.
It does. And then Shackett reveals the motive. Money. Big money. A $400 million deal related to whatever's happening. Shackett himself is set to get $100 million.
$100 million? For what?
That's the question. Shackett thinks Odd is some kind of rival agent. He offers Odd $25 million to betray Anna Maria and spill what his supposed agency knows.
He thinks Odd is part of an agency.
He does, which gives Odd an opening. He needs to stall, needs information, so he improvises. Brilliantly.
What does he do?
He invents this elaborate lie. He claims he is a government agent, part of a secret government project.
A secret project involving
A drug, a psychic pill that facilitates clairvoyance but has terrible side effects, like the constant nightmares he has. He spins this whole story about how the government used him and screwed him over.
Wow, he's basically using their assumptions against them.
Exactly. It's a masterful performance under pressure, playing the part of a jaded, burnt-out operative.
And does Shackett buy it?
He seems to. Enough anyway that he reveals the horrifying truth. The reason for the money, the reason for everything.
Okay.
Nuclear weapons. They're bringing nuclear weapons ashore through Magic Beach Harbor. Small, portable ones.
What? Nukes? To do what?
To detonate them in major U.S. cities. All on the same day. In a few weeks, Shackett says.
Oh my God. This isn't just about Magic Beach anymore. This is catastrophic.
Utterly catastrophic. The stakes just went from personal survival to preventing nuclear terrorism on a massive scale.
So, Odd knows the plan. He has to stop it. He gets away again.
Somehow, yes. The details of that second escape involve Sinatra's lingering effects and maybe some quick thinking. But he ends up down at the harbor again. He commandeers a tugboat, the Junie's Moonbeam.
Junie's Moonbeam. Doesn't sound very intimidating for a boat involved in nuclear smuggling.
No, one of the conspirators even makes fun of the name, calls it a half-assed put-put boat. But it's the boat they're using. And Odd overhears Utgard talking to another guy, Joey. They're planning to kill their own associates once the nukes are handed off. Pop 'em, drop 'em. No loose ends.
So much for loyalty among thieves.
Right. And Odd realizes he has to act. Decisively. This is where he crosses a line, perhaps.
What does he do?
Joey pulls a switchblade on him and Odd kills him. Then he finds Utgard Rolf, the yellow-eyed giant, and shoots him twice in the back. Kills him too.
Wow. He takes them out.
He does, and he struggles with it. He keeps insisting, I am not a hero. But he does what he feels he has to do to stop the immediate threat.
And the nukes? Are they on the tugboat?
Yes. He finds them. 4 coffin-sized steel crates. Inside are these heavy cast steel devices. Each one has a hole, about 4 inches wide, for a trigger mechanism, a plug.
The detonators.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Odd manages to secure all 4 of the heavy detonator plugs. He takes them, separating them from the devices themselves.
Smart move. Takes the firing pins out, essentially.
Basically, yes. Renders the devices inert for now. But then there's one more person on the boat.
Felonia, the pilot.
Yes, Felonia. Young, described as beautiful but chillingly nihilistic. She tells Odd she wants the old, tired world just gone. She welcomes the destruction.
She's part of it willingly.
Eagerly, it seems. When she pulls a small gun on Odd, he doesn't hesitate this time. He shoots her.
He kills her too.
Yes. Preventing her from seeing the new world she longed for. He covers her body with a blanket afterwards. It's a grim, sad moment amidst the action.
He's had to make some terrible choices this night.
Truly terrible. Now he has a tugboat, 4 nuclear devices without triggers, and a very big problem.
What's his plan? He can't just dock the boat.
No. He needs to get it somewhere secure, somewhere authorities can find it, but the conspirators can't easily retrieve it. He decides to head for Hecate Canyon.
The place near where Anna Maria dealt with the coyotes?
The very same. He has to pilot this tugboat, something he's never done before, on the open ocean at night in the fog. He uses the GPS and the depth finder. His plan is to essentially run the boat aground there, beach it, making it impossible to move quickly.
Buys time, and he calls someone.
He does. He contacts the FBI and Homeland Security, tells them about the nuclear weapons, where they'll be, and implicates Chief Shackett. But he refuses to give his name. Stays anonymous.
The quiet fry cook saving the world wants no credit.
Exactly. And then he needs to get rid of the detonators, the triggers. He can't just keep them.
What does he do with 4 nuclear bomb triggers?
He finds a Salvation Army collection bin. And he just drops the satchel containing the 4 heavy plugs inside.
Into a clothing donation bin. That's unexpected.
It's very odd, Thomas. And he notes something fascinating. The satchel, which felt incredibly heavy before, heavy as a grand piano, suddenly feels light once he lets go of it.
The burden is lifted.
Literally and metaphorically. It reminds him of how the weight of the coyotes vanished when he understood they were symbolic. Once the responsibility is passed on, the physical weight seems to disappear too.
Okay, the nukes are secured, the triggers are Somewhere else. Is it over?
Not quite. There's one last confrontation. He needs to get his wallet, which he left back at the church rectory during the Sinatra escape.
Practical needs intrude again.
Always. But when he gets there, he's confronted by Chief Haas Shackett, who survived the poltergeist attack but is injured, and one of the red-headed gunmen from earlier.
Shackett's still after him.
Desperately. He's fixated on Odd's juice, his power. He still thinks it's the psychic pill Odd invented. He demands Odd give it to him.
But does Odd keep up the lie?
He does, stalling, trying to figure a way out, but then something completely unexpected happens.
What?
The redhead, the gunman who's with Shackett, he just turns and shoots Chief Shackett, kills him, point blank, in the head.
What? Why?
Reveals another layer to the conspiracy. Shackett was apparently just a pawn, maybe outlived his usefulness, or maybe the redhead had different orders all along. The real power lies deeper.
This conspiracy has layers upon layers.
It really does.
Yeah.
Odd manages to escape this final chaos, pursued by police cars arriving. And also, the coyotes are back.
The coyotes again, the ones Anna Maria controlled.
The same pack. And Odd realizes they are not only what they appear to be, they represent something more, maybe forces drawn to the conflict.
How does he get away from them?
He remembers the small silver bell Anna Maria wears. He finds it somehow. Maybe she gave it to him or he picked it up. And as he holds it up while going down the rectory steps, the coyotes just disperse, fade away.
The bell worked for him, too.
It seems so. Another touch of the mysterious power surrounding Anna Maria.
Finally, he gets away. Where does he go?
He drives back to Blossom Rosedale's cottage, the safe haven.
Is Anna Maria there?
Yes, Anna Maria's there, safe. So is Raphael, the golden retriever. And one more figure, Mr. Sinatra's ghost.
Sinatra's still around.
He lingered. Odd takes a moment, apologizes to Sinatra for insulting him earlier to trigger the poltergeist event.
Does Sinatra accept?
He does, with style. He gives this graceful, magician-like gesture, very chairman of the board, and then just ascends, phasing up through the ceiling. Gone. Always the entertainer, Odd thinks.
A final bow.
A final bow. But then the weight of everything finally hits Odd. All the violence, the killing. He sees the eyes of Utgard, of Valonia, of the man on the beach.
He collapses.
Pretty much. He finds he just can't drive. He's completely overwhelmed. Anna Maria takes the wheel.
She comforts him.
She does. Gently. Calls him Odd One. Tells him, your heart shines. And importantly, you saved cities. She acknowledges the immense thing he just did.
He needed to hear that.
He really did. And then she shares this profound thought. Looking at the approaching dawn, she says, life is hard, but it was not always so.
Hinting at.
Something lost, maybe. A different state of being. It's mysterious, like her. Then she asks Odd to show her a constellation, Cassiopeia.
Cassiopeia.
Doesn't that have significance for Odd?
It does. It reminds him of his lost love, Stormy Llewellyn. Her mother was named Cassiopeia, and as he looks up at the stars, pointing it out, he sees Stormy, not just the constellation, but he feels her presence, sees her light shining for all eternity. It's this beautiful, bittersweet glimpse of peace, of timeless connection after the horror.
Wow. What an ending to an absolutely insane night. We have really covered an incredible amount of ground here. We really have. Suspense, the supernatural, deep philosophical questions, all seen through the eyes of Odd Thomas, this supposedly ordinary fry cook with these extraordinary senses.
Yeah, from those first eerie feelings on the pier, right through to stopping a nuclear plot, we saw how his gifts, or maybe curses,
And his basic goodness, really.
right, his inherent goodness guided him through a night that honestly could have ended everything.
And this deep dive, I think it really underscores how fragile things can feel sometimes. The hidden forces, that might be shaping things behind the scenes, and just the huge impact one person's choices can have.
It completely blurs that line between the everyday and the miraculous, doesn't it?
It does. It reminds you that even when things seem overwhelming, just one person trying to do the right thing, committed to virtue, like Anna Maria said, can make a world of difference.
So maybe a final thought for you listening. What does it really mean to be burdened with a gift? Is it always a burden?
That's a great question.
And how do we maybe recognize the wonderland, the moments of grace or meaning in our own lives, especially when things feel hard, like Anna Maria said?
Maybe it's like Odd. Maybe it's about finding those small moments of connection or humor or beauty, even amidst the scary stuff.
Yeah, holding on to that promise of light no matter how dark the night gets.